exploring, discovering, becoming. August 24, 2014. How you perceive your spiritual self, dear ones, is really how you see yourself spiritually. It is important to honestly and truthfully observe yourself in order to validate what you are doing, for yourself is truly what your heart has been guiding you towards. It is important to ask yourself questions occasionally, just to ensure you haven't lost sight, become derailed, or stuck along your journey of discovering the deeper side of you, your true and authentic self. It is up to you, dear ones, to determine if you are following what others are doing just to fit in, or what your inner self is guiding you towards. It is vital to your own growth and development to understand it is not what other people are doing, it's your own standards you must live up to. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for the energy you carry and emit and for what you share. It is up to each of you to learn how to be tactful and respectful. How you maintain your spiritual self is up to you to discover. There are many wonderful techniques, yet praying and meditation offer long-lasting, healthful, internal, and external benefits to your overall self. Have you ever pondered about who decides how spiritual you are to become? If you have, well, the answer is you. It is you that ultimately decides how to develop every aspect of yourself, including the spiritual part. Over time, you cultivate certain standards to live your life, that sometimes get tweaked from time to time as you face certain challenges that bring about necessary changes in your way of thinking and doing. Only you can determine just how spiritual you want to be. Yes, we see often many people are following what others are doing, they are filled with opinions, point fingers and judge when their own journey has barely begun. To get a good handle of where you are going spiritually on your journey, the first thing, dear ones, we suggest it to get a handle on your emotional energy. Learn how to bring calm into your demeanor, how to speak respectfully and demonstrate love and compassion with every word, action, thought, feeling, intention and choice. Before determining where you want your spiritual journey to take you, try to determine, dear ones, when you began to have ideas about spirituality. Have you only just begun, or were you called by displaying interest as a child? Some dear souls that have maintained their spiritual side, have attended church or have been part of a deeply spiritual community. A lot of what surrounded you as a child as background has filled your head with how your spiritual self is to be. This kind of dictation doesn't mean what you considered as a child, or perceived when you were younger, cannot be changed. What you consider to be spiritual for you, is something only you can discover by exploring the deeper aspects of you. Getting into places of your inner self, questioning, and allowing the truths to surface that you may have ignored for a long time. It does take courage to enter the realm of your inner self, but your courage does not go unrewarded, for you are discovering more of your authentic, true self. When you are truthful and honest and are determined to develop a more spiritual you, then with all your heart and soul, you will. Perception is important in any aspect of life, but for one who is trying to cultivate their spiritual self, perception is essential. Allow your heart to guide you. We understand how easy it is to be pulled by temptation and by what others are doing. Take time to listen in respectful silence, the journey of others that have toiled for many years. Put time into meditating and allowing the healing effect to comfort you and bring new ways that can be incorporating into the newly expanding spiritual you. From what you discover by observing, meditating, and prayer, determine what you want for you. How does being spiritual in any way or form make you feel? Where you are right now, regardless if you are just starting out or have been walking the path for a lifetime, are you able to respectfully accept others that walk a different spiritual path? The answers to questions like these are important as they reflect what still needs to be learned and how you can apply this learning to the development of your own spiritual self. There is so much to uncover of your deeper, inner self. There is not a day God has given you that you cannot learn something new. Each day is a day filled with great and wondrous opportunities to grow and to develop more than the person you were the day before. It is also important to your spiritual development to have someone you can talk to, Someone who can be impartial and non-biased, that can help shape some of your perceptions that may be mixed or confused. Over time you will, under your own personal power, love and wisdom, refine the concept of what it means to be spiritual, and to apply this refinement to your spiritual self. This usually comes about when you are faced with a difficult situation that challenges your preconceived notions of yourself, others, and the world around you, and what it means to be spiritual. Many of your preconceived notions limited your thinking, as many were caught up in egocentric ways of living and being. The more aware you become, the clearer you will see. When you are able to see yourself from a more clearer sight, you are able to bring in the necessary changes needed for the further development of not only your personal self but of your spiritual self as well. Tune your awareness towards how you judge and criticize. Think about it, dear ones, what are those judgments or criticisms based on? Most judgments and criticisms come from the person's own inadequacies that they are unable to face yet, but find it easier to deflect onto others. Every time you judge and criticize either yourself, others, or life, you are lowering your own energy and forming a deeper gap between you and God. When you open yourself to love, to compassion, and give respect to yourself, to others, and the world around you, you are bringing yourself closer to God. Every step you take, every action made by you is important. You are learning. You may not always say or do the nicest things, but when you realize you may have overstepped your boundaries, we know you'll be mature enough to admit it, and try to make amends and learn from the experience. When you make amends, be genuine. The person on the other end can feel your sincerity or lack thereof through the tone of your voice and with your body language. Walking a spiritual life is a rewarding life, even though this way of living does have its own set of challenges. Remember, dear ones, all answers to all questions pertaining to the development of you are found when you go within yourself. No other person can give you answers about yourself. Sometimes these answers take a while to be known, but they do come just when they are meant to. God ensures that you learn all you are meant to know at the right time. Before you move on any decision that will determine the course of your journey, ask yourself, is this choice for my highest of good? If there is any doubt, even the slightest, then maybe, dear ones, you might want to reconsider or look a little further into where this decision will take you before you decide. Take time to listen to the stillness and quiet. Appreciate the moments you have that are calm and tranquil, as they are gifted to you. They help you heal and regenerate. It is well understood that not everyone lives within a temple wall and prays all day. Life, generally, is hectic, chaotic and busy. When you have a gap in your busy day, a gap that is peaceful, take it, rejoice in it, and allow this window of serenity to soothe you, and to heal you. As you continue striving forward on your journey of life, discovering your spiritual self, try to focus more on the positives, and embrace those moments that are peaceful. Every dear soul has had their share of disappointments, ups and downs, challenges, and so forth. Everyone has had a different degree of suffering and pain they had to persevere. Remember this when you are about to judge another. Think about if your words or actions are going to bring comfort or harm. Everyone on your life-giving earth deserves to be treated fairly and with love. We know you want to help bring changes into effect from what you see through the media, but we encourage you to begin bringing changes to yourself first. Start by loving yourself and giving yourself compassion. There is always something positive in your life to focus on. You don't have to always focus on the negative, dear ones. From all you have gathered from your personal findings, relax your ideas of what it means to be spiritual. Bring in those calm and tranquil moments that you learn to embrace and focus on your findings. Don't dismiss any idea of being unworthy until you have explored its depth and how it can help gain a greater connection between you and God. Determine how you can bring your spiritual self to work, or how you can bring your spiritual self when you exercise. Does bringing your spiritual self into other places where you frequent and are a part of going to be harmful or beneficial? How is having a spiritual self affect other aspects of your life? Even if you have just begun walking the spiritual side of life, or are well progressed, give yourself credit for all the effort you applied to grow as you have. There is more growth and development in store. There is no day off when it comes to the growing of you. Even in your busy life, there is time you can set aside to pray, or to meditate, where you allow peace and calm to enter your being. Remember, dear ones, you are as spiritual as you want to be. No one person can make you more spiritual. Celebrate your spiritual self, and embrace the creative life force that has brought you this far. Rejoice in the fact that there is more to come, and regardless of what is to come, you'll be fine because you will have established deep within yourself the benefit of focusing on the positives and allowing yourself to remain peaceful as often as possible. I am Melchizedek through Julie Miller. spiritualnetworks.com